Let's talk to Bob McEwen, former Republican Congressman from Ohio. Bob, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
How are you feeling under the light of optimism and the stars shining upon you from on high?
The dear folks, they really could not come up with any reason that they should be in office. And they can't even get a reason. In the end, we should have or we could have. It's just they're so vacuous. And the American people just said thanks, but no thanks.
Right.
All they could do was spit and call names and throw things. And as you mentioned, call people garbage and Hitler and all. You would have thought they could say, look what we did here that was beneficial, but not a single thing.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, she didn't campaign on her record. She didn't say, you know, this is what Joe Biden and I have done in the 3 years that we've been in charge and you can have more of the same. She kept saying she wanted to end the chaos. And you're kind of going, well, hang on, you're running the country at the moment. Which chaos are you ending? The chaos from 4 years before you started or what?
Yes, we had peace and prosperity, and they came in and put a stop to that right off the bat. Shut down all the gas pipelines and quadrupled the price of gasoline and wars and weakness. Wokeness and weakness were their theme. The American wanted fairness and strength, and they opted for that.
And how did they get it so wrong? I mean, Bob, you've been around the world a few times. You understand the political scenario in the United States of America. You know, the one thing that even I know, I lived there for 10 years, when my first child was born in America, is Americans care about freedom. They care about the right to do what they want to do. They care about the right to buy what they want to buy, whether it's healthcare or education or, you know, holidays, whatever it is. They want government out of their lives, and they want self-determination, and they want to be able to afford to live their lives. But they got all of that wrong, didn't they?
They really did, and they've gone off the rails. I mean, it's so far off. And I was watching the liberal talk shows in the morning. Yeah. Everybody I know did the same thing. They were all up all night, but yet they wanted to get up early in the morning just to listen to them whine. And never once did they ever look in the mirror and say, we should have done this, or we were wrong to do that. All they did was spew and vomit all over the horrible taxpayers that weren't as bright as they were. But exactly what you said, the left has so disengaged from what people feel and want, that they want to lecture, because of your skin color, you're supposed to vote this way, and because of your gender, you're supposed to do this. And finally, people up to their throat said, enough. And it was across the board. In every single demographic area, he trounced her.
And I was talking to some friends of mine in the States who are Democrats, who said, you know, they got it so wrong because they started preaching to their followers. They started preaching to their Democrat voters to say, this is what you should care about. You know, never mind your family, never mind, you know, the price of gas, never mind the price of your groceries. You know, what you should care about is the right of somebody to have an abortion, you know, 9 months in, or the right of somebody to change their gender at the age of 5, or the right of, you know, boys to be able to go into girls' changing rooms and, you know, get tampon machines given to them by Tim Walz. You know, they got it completely skew-whiff.
They asked a fellow on a street corner, they said, have you ever voted Republican? No. How about your wife? No. How about your friends? No. How about people in your union? No. Who'd you vote for? Trump. Who'd your wife vote for? Trump. Who'd your friends vote for? Trump. Why? And this fella, in one sentence, he said, well, I concluded that Democrats were more interested in some man showering with my daughter in her locker room than they were in me having a job.
Yes.
And there it is.
Exactly right. And what about the lefty meltdown? Because, you know, I saw certainly on social media yesterday, certain people that I've spoken to on my show who were like, we're not going to stop fighting. You know, if it needs be, we'll have a revolution. Do you suspect that they'll go away quietly and just crawl back into the you know, the 5-story homes that they've got on the seashores of the United States of America? What are they going to do?
You understand it so well. But listen, the great thing about all of them, and Thomas Jefferson talked about that, he felt that once people no longer farmed, once they all lived in the city and they didn't have a touch to the land, that the country was finished. Yeah. And the truth of the matter is, if all these people ran a lemonade stand for an hour, they would be better off, because you never lecture the customer. Right. The customer is right. Yeah. And these people are saying, if only the stupid electorate were just as smart and wise as me. And once you start lecturing the employer, your employer, you don't have much of a future. And that's where they are at this moment. They have contempt for the average American, and either they'll change or they'll drift away.
But will they go quietly, I suppose, is my question, or will you see a kind of, Black Lives Matter style insurrection that went on, 3 or 4 years ago?
Yes, yes. Well, the media will hype it for a while, but Mike, I think I know everybody thinks that the world is totally different. I truly believe, and I think there's reason to believe, that this is as great a sea change in the demographics of the electorate that we've ever seen since Franklin Roosevelt.
Wow.
Franklin Roosevelt put together a coalition of Eastern Europeans, people, if they were Catholic, if they were Union, if they were black inner city machines, and that was the core of the Democrat Party. Now, all of that has fallen apart. If you're very, very wealthy and you're an international banker and you invest in New York or in Los Angeles or San Francisco, you're extremely wealthy and you have your own bodyguards and your own movie star, then you're a Democrat.
Yeah.
If you're dependent upon the government, you're a Democrat.
Yeah.
But if you get up in the morning and go to work, and at the end of the week you get a paycheck, I don't care what color you are, what your ethnicity is, what your gender is. It's overwhelming that you're a Republican.
Yeah.
And that, I repeat, 1 in 4 black men voted Republican. It's never been more than 5%. It was 5 times that this time. So I really think I think we're seeing a sea change that will never go back. Donald Trump has created a new political party that I don't think will change in our lifetime.
That's fascinating, because that's exactly what's happening here as well. The Labour government, which was supposed to be the party of the working man, has become precisely what you've just described. The Democrats as, in 2019, the only victory they had in any constituency in Britain was in Putney, which is a rather wealthy, leafy suburb of West London. And that, similarly, they are the Islington set, as we call them. If you know London, you know what I mean. It's, it's a very nice, wealthy part of North London where all the houses are worth about £2 million. And they're the sort of people that say, I'd quite like to pay more taxes to fund the NHS and healthcare. Well, I don't know anyone who works for a living who wants to pay more taxes. Sorry.
Yeah, the left is the same all over, and hopefully I think there's being a resurgence of the common man, if I may respectfully say so.
Absolutely right. Listen, great to talk to you, Bob. Thank you very much. I think you nailed it there. Bob McEwen, what a fantastic commentator there on what's gone wrong with the left.